Well, TSA agents will start getting paid here today after weeks without a paycheck, but it remains to be seen if those long lines at most airports will ease up and return to normal. NBC4's Dickerson live at LAX with an update there. Hey, Karma.
Yes, that's certainly the hope as the TSA workers are finally being paid, seeing those paychecks hit their bank accounts either over the weekend or beginning today. This is the situation at LAX where things have stayed largely on track. Nevertheless, we know that the overall government shutdown is not over and there's no end in sight.
In the midst of peak spring break travel, the people responsible for making sure nothing dangerous makes it onto a plane are finally getting some pay.
We're both prior military, so it's very unfortunate. It's ridiculous.
Crazy, ridiculous. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but these people deserve their pay.
At day 45, this partial government shutdown is the longest in U.S. history. However, President Trump's executive order from Friday is now pushing paychecks to TSA workers.
I just can't see how these people can work and not get paid. You can't make ends meet as it is, so how are they supposed to keep coming?
We're going to pray for them and pray this whole thing goes smoothly and everybody starts getting paid what they deserve.
500 TSA employees have quit in the weeks that they weren't being paid. And even amidst news that they would be paid, Sunday, 3,100 TSA workers nationwide called out from work. But there may be signs of improvement. Fresh off a cruise, the Maroney family says even the air travel portion through Houston was smooth sailing. At 5:30 in the morning, they went through TSA in about 35 minutes.
They had it moving. They had a pretty good flow. They only had 4 or 5 TSA agents working, so it was fast.
Keep in mind, just yesterday, both Houston airports had over 30% of their workforce call out. In Baltimore, the number was nearly 40%. New Orleans and Atlanta weren't far behind.
One of the employees did mention that they were going to open up one of the terminals that were closed today at Houston. So hopefully it'll start opening up.
Today at LAX, it was business as usual. Los Angeles area airports have largely avoided the mass TSA worker callouts that have led to hours-long lines at some airports, and even ICE agents assigned to help speed up security screenings. 1 week into the ICE deployment to airports, it's still a controversial subject.
We were expecting them here, and we really hate that they've taken over so many cities that don't want them there.
TSA is now receiving pay due to mounting pressure triggered in part by long airport lines. However, there's no end in sight to the partial government shutdown. The agencies and employees in funding limbo include FEMA and the Coast Guard.
And we should note that TSA agents have received some pay, but not all of their pay. And DHS does acknowledge that there is some back pay that those agents are still owed. Coming up at 5, we're going to hear from a TSA agent to see where things stand, where those agents stand, how many of those potential workers might be coming back on the job, or how many after all of this, so many shutdowns, may just be saying, this isn't the right field. It's just not stable enough. Reporting live, Dickerson, NBC4 News.